Bueno, hola, bienvenido a mi canal, dale like, ¿sí viste? Y para que puedas ponerlo algo en la campana. Y ahorita vamos a ver videos, cómo explorar un cuarto secreto con una puerta secreta en tu propia casa. Listo, vamos a ver.
Greetings! Today we're going to take this ordinary storage closet and turn it into a secret hidden room by turning the door into a bookshelf. The first thing I did was go down to the hardware store and buy myself a large sheet of half-inch plywood, and I cut it to fit just beyond the door frame, so it will cover all of it. I also bought several of these little L bracket things to connect the back of the bookshelf to the door. In the center of the door is where I want to mount the brackets. Cool. Alright, I'm putting one more bracket right down here by the bottom of the door. The reason for this is the bookshelf is going to be dragging along the carpet, but this is to keep it from separating from the door because all of the pressure is going to be in this area. So there, that'll help when we pull it and push it. The last two brackets I'm going to attach to the back of the bookcase before I attach it to the door. And that's because these two brackets are going to go in the crack here where the hinges are, and so they need to be facing inward instead of outward. If they're facing outward, then the door won't be able to open anymore. Boy, that's really on there. I'm just going to test drive this. So this is looking good. So right now I'm just attaching the back of the bookshelf to the door temporarily. It glides beautifully about this far above the carpet. I can see that I've got about, I don't know, an inch between this and the wall. And I want the sideboards to kind of cover this a little bit so that you can't see back behind here and realize there's a door frame behind this.
Bueno, vamos a realizar para atrás. ¿Dónde están los muchachos que están enseñando? Bueno, no, al punto aquí, eso es como lo que está diciendo, es que lo que pasa es que él va a cubrir y para cuando vea que hay unas puertas secretas, por eso lo va a poner algo ahí. Y vamos a realizar, para atrás con esto.
See back behind here and realize there's a door frame behind this. So here's the main problem that I knew I would run into quite literally from the beginning.
Sí, además que dice que él sabía el problema que había hecho y al principio. Sí, además que está
Beginning, and that is that when you open the door, you run into the wall.
Lo que bueno ahí que está diciendo que eso es simplemente que la madera lo que está aquí de esto, haciendo que estaba ahí que estaba como pegado de la pared, pero él va a como hacer algo para que pueda abrir las puertas, porque cuando está así, que está cerca de la madera, entonces no se puede abrir. Eso es, decimos eso que él va a hacer algo ahí. Entonces vamos a ver más de video, un poquito adelante, porque
Wall right here. And that doesn't leave much clearance to get things or myself in and out. So what I'm going to do is modify the design in such a way that I'm cutting the corners off of these. So
que él dice que va a cortar Yo que va a cortar la madera, ah, algo de la esquina para que puedas abrir la puerta.
Basically, the side of the shelf will be here, and then the shelf itself will come out from the edge, and I'll do it on both sides so it looks
Así es que dice que vas a poner los lados también, de los lados, digo.
uniform. And that will buy me probably another inch on this side, but an inch over there will translate to, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 inches on this side. Since this edge is the edge that kind of sticks out in the room, I want this edge to be cleaner. So I'm lining up this with this. And then if this side's a little bit off, it's not a big deal. I've got the hinges attached to this. So this will stand right here, and then this piece will hinge closed. So when the door is closed all the way and somebody peeks around this side of the bookshelf, all they will see is the shelf going straight to the wall.
Bueno, dice que simplemente que él le va a poner esta tabla de que se dobla y, y además así cuando quieras abrir las puertas secretas, entonces tienes que doblar las puertas y es para superar las puertas y además para que la gente no se vea si uno que tiene que dar derecho en la tabla y fue así para que ellos vean que es un mueble y no es algo no es ahí no es impuesta respuesta.
Before you open the door, you push this.
Y además que va a hacer así como hizo ahorita, además que esto es lo que va a hacer.
And it spirals around. Then when you pull open the door, that whole side goes into the corner. Now, I'm going to put these, which are the shelf supports, onto the other side with some wood glue. Ultimately, I might reinforce this with screws, but for the moment, my screw budget is wearing a little thin. Try to put this bottom shelf in. This is what's going to keep the door from ripping off of its hinges. Just by cramming that under there, I've taken quite a bit of the weight of the bookshelf off of the door. Now, ultimately, this is going to be covered because this is a huge tell that, oh, there's a door behind here. Let's see if it opens properly.
Así además que dice que tiene que va a cubrir aquí y eso fue a lo mejor lo tiene el play esta vez.
We have to slide this piece out of the way so it doesn't run into the wall right there. Now we should be able to slide it open. Oh, look how far open that goes. I love it. We've gone further than I projected we would. This is where I thought the door would open. So we've got like maybe another 1.5 inches further. That's awesome. All right, we are going to conceal the lock with a shelf support that is not actually supporting the shelf. The mechanism I've come up with, it's not sophisticated, but the way it'll work is this will be held up by one screw on this side, and it'll swivel down like this to reveal the lock. So in order for that to
Así además que ahí dice que vas a tapar la madera ahí donde está la chapa para que no se vea.
work. I had to sand down the end of this so that there's a slight angle this way. It needs to be able to swivel down like this and not run into the shelf on this end. So let's put it together and see if it works. So that's it, nice and snug. You'll notice I still have 2 more screws in here, and the reason this one is here, this is actually a shorter screw, and it goes just a little ways into the back of the shelf. But there's a section back there that's carved out so that this can still swivel down, but only to a point. It stops right there. The shelf goes right in there like that. There is shelf number 4. Now the last step, other than painting, of course, is going to be to find something to cover this with. And I'm thinking either a long...
Así además que dice que iba a pintar primero, luego después, digo, y me dice si tiene que va así que va a cumplir algo así, como leí hace rato, y él va a poner como algo que, bueno, vamos a ver más nuevo, ahí, además que ahí le va a enseñar cómo le va a hacer.
Skinny piece of plywood or something, and then I'll probably mirror it on this side too. Simple wood glue will hopefully be enough to hold this in place.
Y además que él va a poner esto para que no se vea, para que no se vea algo de atrás.
I don't have any clamps that will hold this thing on here at this angle, so I gotta stand here for 20 minutes.
Y además como ven ahorita que ya puse de un lado, del otro lado, pero este es como hay como una madera que se cubre para que no se vea que es un expreso secreto. Digo, como expreso secreta y además eso le, le va a poner como un cobre aquí, claro, para que no se vea y entonces así para que no se vea que es una cosa secreta, así que vamos a ver más nuevos. Lo que va a hacer ahorita.
All right, I think we are finished.
Así además que ya le pintaron el mueble con las piezas estrechas como color negro o black y vamos a ver.
Slides easily enough. Even filled it up with some stuff like books. And if we want to secure everything, we can simply close that flap and then lock the door. And finally, grab a screwdriver and screw the last screw in on the end. And there you have it. That's how you turn any room in your house into a secret room. Actually finish the rest of the bedroom too.
Que bueno, entonces ya vimos el video y después ya voy a terminar de grabar, pero dale like si viste mi canal y para que puedas ponerle algo a la campana. Y además, si ustedes quieren este video, que yo pueda hacer algo de canal, por ejemplo, de este mismo, pero de diferente lado, y además, y también podemos relacionar como música de los fines de noche, toda esta clase de música, y para que nos puedas darle like. Gracias, nos vemos y cuídate.